Brought to you by St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
Hello, today we are here at the Outreach Teen and Family Services office. I'm Lily.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Faith.
And today we'll be talking about New Year's resolutions, myths, and goals. Let's start off with the fast 5 questions. Do you prefer an even year or odd year?
I'm going to say even.
I'm going to say odd because I want to be different.
I'm going to say I can't choose because I graduate in an even year, but I was born in an odd year.
Oh,
That's interesting.
I like that.
Big or small goals?
I'm going to say multiple small goals.
Yeah, I think that too. I think one big goal is just too overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm the same, small goals. Planning or going with the flow?
I feel a little bit of both. I do like planning things ahead, but sometimes go with the flow just feels better.
Mm-hmm. I want to be with a go with the flow person type, like so bad, but I plan way too much for everything. I fear.
I am the same. I like the idea of being a go with the flow person, and like when someone says like let's go get ice cream at the random like time, like I'm so down. But I'd rather have a plan. Winter or summer?
We talked about this a little before, but I know me and Lily are summer people.
Oh, I'm such a summer person.
I'm going to agree. I definitely am more on the summer spectrum there.
And lastly, at home or a community gym?
I like being around people when I work out because if I'm by myself, I feel like I won't do as much or go as hard. So I'm going to say community.
Yeah, I relate to that. I need to be like around people, and I also like taking fitness classes because I feel like then you have to like be held accountable for it a little bit more.
I'm definitely the kind of person who like will go to the community gym but then like get bored. So like I like the idea of like going to the gym, but like I definitely need a fitness class to like keep me on task.
Yeah.
But like if I can't do one, I'll go to a community gym because otherwise I'm not gonna do it.
I've always wanted to try Pilates.
I know. I want to
so
do it too,
bad.
but I haven't tried it.
We'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health. They've been our steadfast annual sponsor, supporting our podcast for 5 consecutive years now.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
How about we each do a personal experience with New Year's resolutions?
Ooh.
Or one that was difficult or not difficult. I guess anything.
Oh, I have a good one. This year my New Year's resolution was to like focus on myself and like not let other people influence my decisions. Off to a mid start. But we're getting there. We are getting there.
Off to a mid start.
Can you elaborate on that for us, Lily?
Right.
Mid, because I feel like I'm like thinking too much of what other people would want me to do. Like instead of putting like what it's my future, maybe I should be choosing this route instead.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm kind of in this like let's do Lily. So I'm off to that now.
LDL.
2026 LDL. Let's do Lily.
That's an incredible slogan, actually. I really like that. I get what you're saying with that too, because I feel like anytime I've done a New Year's resolution before, I like focus it so much on like what other people expect your New Year's resolutions to be versus what I like intrinsically want. And I think that's the biggest thing I thought about going into like setting ones for this year. Is like I was like, I can't have extrinsic motivations anymore. It has to be intrinsic. And I think that has already started to work out a little bit more than New Year's prior to this one anyway.
Personally, my New Year's resolution this year was to planner more. Planner? Is that the right word?
Plan
Oh, use your planner more.
To planner more. In the past, I've always done far too much, far too fast. So I was like, let's go to the gym every day. Let's drink a gallon of water every day. Let's eat healthy. But this year, I mean, I eat pretty clean
Mm-hmm.
to begin with, but I was like, I'll just try and eat cleaner, I guess. But I had Moe's today, so I'm kind of struggling. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also where a lot of people get caught is like just doing everything immediately when the new year starts
Yeah.
because then you get burned out from it so fast and then you're like, yeah, I'm never doing this again.
Mm-hmm.
Another part of LDL is
right.
Back to
just like real quick is I also like really lost track of like what I wanted to like health wise do for myself, like mental health time, going on walks and stuff like that. Like I just like wasn't doing it. So I think I'm gonna try to prioritize that this year. Well, that's like my goal. Also starting off mid, but up from here.
But it is the year of LDL, so it'll be okay.
And it's good to have room to improve, you know,
Exactly.
to continue
like,
to go
starting off
towards
mid, but it's
your
only
goal.
up from here.
Yes.
Yeah, like the year just started basically. You're
Mhm.
good. The comeback will be crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely feel like people put too much pressure on themselves to achieve all those goals too fast,
Mhm.
like I have in the past, which is why I wanted to do smaller things, more smaller things, I guess. Because it just becomes overwhelming, and then I honestly just never want to do it if I have too many goals at the same time.
And I think so many things are just unrealistic goals that we have with the New Year's. Like especially like I think the biggest thing is people are like, I'm gonna work out every single day and I'm never gonna quit. And then the one day you miss, you get so discouraged and people just stop and feel like they failed. And that used to be something I feel like I struggled with a lot. But then it's like when you have those like minor goals or just like you genuinely want better health, and it's like okay, where I can like just fit this into my schedule a lot of the time versus having it be so rigid. I think is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, definitely something that like has helped me with that is I have personally made 2026 punch cards. So like if I don't eat out like 1 week, I get like a punch for that week, and at the end I get like a full week of like a takeout dinner or lunch.
Ooh, I like
or I do like if I work out at least like 3 times this week, I'll punch it and then I get a new like workout set. So it's like a motivation
Oh, cool.
to get my goals done.
Yeah, it's like
really like
positively reinforcing.
Exactly. And then I'll just like remake them when I run out of them.
You're kind of like Pavlov's dog a little bit.
I love it.
my
I love
gosh.
that.
Doing it to myself for LDL.
Yeah.
For the sake of LDL.
For the sake of LDL, I need punch cards.
That's like actually
I
a really
love
good
that,
idea
though.
though. I really like it.
It makes it more realistic. All the goals.
And like I don't have a timeline on myself, so like if I miss a week, it's okay. I have a lot more weeks to get that punch in, but like it's something that's motivating me to get it done. And each has an award. Sorry.
No,
Go.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was gonna say I feel like some people don't take into account the things that might get thrown at them in the year. So whenever they do say I have to work out every day and do this, like whenever they can't, I think that just puts a lot of damper on the goals. So for me, I feel like moving your body a little bit a couple times a week is good, but you can't expect yourself to do it every day, especially if you feel like you're not in the wanting to, like in the mental state.
I think that's like an important thing to clarify too, because when we list out these goals, we forget that we also have to be like human in between all of them, and that anything can happen at any given point that can like throw a wrench in those plans. And I think that's why it's so easy to be discouraged when those moments come up, because we like want to forget that we're still gonna have to live day to day regardless of these goals.
In my experience, I've had like New Year's resolutions be like a little bit too much for me. So I also think that a big part of them is like to like try to achieve like a daily like goal. So like for me, I've set daily goals. It depends on like what's going on in my life. Instead of having like the small goals, I also have the daily goals. Like I will get up in the morning, brush my teeth, make myself a lunch. Like I'll just get the daily tasks I need to get done, and those are just like leading to the big goals or the small goals that I have in life.
Yeah, I'm definitely like starting to get on that wave more too. Like, I think a big thing for me that I've noticed is I'll be like, as long as I do like 1 or 2 creative things that are just for me this week, like that's one goal that I've completed. Or if it's like I'm moving my body in a healthy way a couple times per week. Like just having it at least general enough that there's no failure that comes with that feeling of not completing it. And then with those little goals too, it's like it's still very much important to recognize like all the little ways you have to take care of yourself. And I think that's also been a big thing for me, because in the past I feel like my goals were almost unhealthy. Like I'm gonna eat so strict and so clean and work out every day, and then I would burn out so fast, and it wasn't healthy,
sustainable.
Physically. Yeah, like it's just not. And I think there's a lot of pressure for it to be, but it's okay that that's just not how I think we're meant to exist.
And when those goals I feel like are too strict, that's whenever it can actually probably decline your mental health and make you too hard on yourself. I guess judge yourself too much. I know in years past, especially 2020 was a hard year. Just with like COVID and everything, I definitely had eating problems, and then the new year came around and I was just like, oof, it just got worse, because then it's like it's a new year, and I feel like having the start of the next 365 days makes you feel like you need to just change everything about yourself, even though you don't, because no one's stopping you from setting goals and achieving them halfway through the year. But I think just the holiday in itself has used to make me judge myself too much. I definitely don't do that as often, definitely not, but I feel like that's just a struggle.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's also why that phrase, like, new year, new me, is so controversial. Kind of what you were saying, like, that idea that you have to be a completely different person, like, with every single new year. And I really used to take that to heart. And what I've realized is there's such a beautiful thing of being able to just to have who you are continue with each year. Like, you don't need to continue to change or feel, like, worldly different from yourself, but that idea of that phrase, I think it forces people into such toxic thinking, especially on social media and with body image, especially since it does suck that I feel like most goals center around the way that we look versus anything that's like truly happy or good for us. Like, it is very much physically based, and I want to definitely get away from that in a bigger way this year, which is why I do think that phrase is kind of a really unhealthy way to view it.
I agree. I think it's a very harsh phrase, because I think it has different meanings for different people, and I think some people can interpret it like new year, new me, I'm going to be skinnier, I'm going to be more athletic, like I'll get this stuff. But then I think for also like some people it's good, like I'll be happier, I'll be more, I'll use my creativity for good, like all that kind of stuff. I think I've seen like my friends like say like, this year I'm going to go to workout class every day and eat better and lose this much weight so I can fit into this dress because it's a new year and I want to look like this. And I definitely think like for them, I've like seen them like lose themselves through that, and I think it's definitely a hard and harsh process for everyone to like learn that like body image isn't like a new year thing. It's learn to love yourself.
I think social media definitely affects New Year's resolutions. I've made my own in the past, and then I'll go on any social media and I see this is my new, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have chose that or picked that. But everybody's different, obviously, but it's just the idea of being influenced to other people's goals. It kind of just makes me think about my own goals differently, I guess.
Oh, I have a question. What do you guys think about like on social media when the new year comes around and it's like, okay, 2026 ins and then outs? Have you seen those?
I kind of
love them.
Me too.
I love them so much. Like, I like that people are making us like, this is the things I'll be doing. This is the things I like in 2026. This is the stuff I'm leaving in 2025.
I do like that. Yeah. The idea of leaving things in the past.
Yeah, it can be really refreshing. Yeah. And I feel like it's less, I have to do this there's less pressure to have to do it every day. And it's kind of like more broadly thinking about how you want your year to be.
Yeah, because it like you get to take those attributes and things that you love still with you versus having the new year, new me, which is like you need to get rid of everything.
Right, right.
Now it's like, okay, I know exactly what I didn't like this past year, but here's all these things that I did like and I want to continue versus like what you kind of said. If it's more broad, I feel like you give yourself a lot of more grace with
to be human.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
And I've kind of seen, like, with that, people have been doing the, like, ins and outs, and then they've also been making, like, an accomplishment cake where they've put, like, sticks in of, like, this is the things I've gotten done in 2025. Me and my friends did a cake where, like, we each had, like, 5 sticks, and we did 5 accomplishments we got done in 2025. And we, like, put them on each cake, and I was like, you know how some people make, like, college cakes with, like, the occasions instead? Be like, I'm Lily, and I did this year, and this made me feel this way. And it was just so good to, like, be able to, like, appreciate everything we've done without, like, putting, like, next year's, like, goals and, like, things we want to get done. We, like, appreciate what we did in the past year and look forward to the next goals.
I really love that recognition because I don't think that we ever take a moment to be like, oh my God, here are all the things that I did this past year. Like, we get so hard on ourselves for the things that we need to accomplish versus just being like, hey, I actually lived through this past year, and that's a pretty great feat all of it in itself.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that because it's so different than new year, new me. That's like already focusing on the future and things you don't have. But then being able to just give space to acknowledge what you have accomplished is amazing. And with, like, a group of people, I feel like that could only like that group dynamic could only and, like, make it like feel more special. You're celebrating
each other's accomplishments,
yourself and others. You're normalizing we should celebrate things that we're proud of. I love that.
Like, you move on and you do one every year, and it's just like such a, like, each at the end of the year you get to, like, celebrate what this year's brought you.
I really like that.
Super
That's
cool.
Such a sweet idea.
What are you guys' thoughts on daily affirmations?
Oh, I'm a big daily affirmations person, like, really bad. I just think it's such a good reminder to yourself to be able to, like, have these minutes throughout the day where you're just, like, aware of what you're doing in that moment, or, like, forcing yourself, or not, like, really forcing yourself, but, like, putting this accountability on yourself of things that you want to do for just you. Because I think that's what I've realized with those affirmations is they have to be you-centered. They can't involve anyone else or, like, anything else, because then I think that just becomes so much more toxic. But then it's like you're just constantly, like, hyping yourself up throughout the day. And that's what I really like about it. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely use affirmations, and I tell clients to too, because I find they're super helpful. Like, I'm all in the beginning of the day when nothing has started yet. And then once, you know, the emails start flowing, or, this problem happens, I think it's so easy for the brain to focus all of its attention on that. So I think affirmations are super helpful, especially ones that just, like, click with you to refocus on what's important to you. It's like a way I can bounce back when things out of my control are happening throughout the day and are leading me down a path that isn't my healthiest self. So it kind of helps me stay focused on what's important to me, or how I want my mindset. It's like a good mindset shift back to peace.
I've been trying to incorporate them more. Today it started off good, and then I made breakfast and there was a hair in my eggs.
Oh no.
And I was like, it's okay, I can still have a good day. Breakfast isn't gonna ruin my day. Just stuff like that. The little things throughout the day, like you said.
So you told yourself, I'm still gonna have a good day. I love
and
it.
My day's been good. My day has been good. So,
and look at you now, you know, you're recording a podcast episode. Traveled through the snow. It's very snowy here in Pittsburgh right now.
We made it through the snowstorm.
So far.
Yes.
So far.
Do you use positive affirmations?
I feel like I want to. I've gotten really frustrated with them in the past, because then, like, if I'm just having a bad day and it's just getting worse, I'll, like, try to use them, and then it just gets worse, and I'm like,
it didn't work, and then I'd get mad, but the positive affirmations weren't working, and I just would feel like just even more down. So for me, I kind of am just like, let's just keep going with the day. Like, I don't even say to myself it can get much worse than this, because, like, I know, like, I've, like, it can
always be worse.
It can always be worse. So, like, at this point I'm saying it can always be worse, and then if worse hits, it can always be worse than that.
I think affirmations can be definitely a good grounding technique. But I do think that social media has changed them to be a little bit toxic at times, where it's like, you can just tell yourself it'll be great always and everything's cured and you're 100% good. Which isn't the case. But it is still, like, a good little thing that you can try to incorporate, but it's not something where, like, everything stops and ends like with them. I think.
I feel like if they're overused on social media, it can give a sense of like falseness.
Yeah.
But I think how you use them specifically to yourself is beneficial.
Let's take a moment to acknowledge St. Clair Health. We're deeply grateful for their generous sponsorship of the 5 seasons of Teen Tap In.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve so we can be stronger together. By creating reliable resources that recognize all of our neighbors, with access to the highest quality healthcare, advanced care close to home, and a shared humanity that delivers on our joint vision to create a healthier community for all. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
Shame and burnout. Because we've previously discussed how like they can also cause burnout and anxiety and shame, but how can they help? Sorry, I worded that weird.
So how resolutions can help?
Like how can help instead of like hurt anxiety and burnout?
Personally, I take something as a resolution like working out. If I feel like I have a lot of pent up like anger or anxiety or misfeeling within myself, I can use working out in my resolution as a release of the energy, which is super important to me. I've also been doing a lot of skincare or trying to incorporate skincare, and it's at the end of the day and it helps me wind down, and that also helps alleviate any anxiety I had throughout the day, and just to wind down before bed helps me a lot.
I've been kind of doing the same thing. For me, like when I get anxious or just like kind of sad, I'll start cooking and I'll cook literally anything. I feel so bad for my house right now. Like it's like a lot of junk food that I've just like recently baked, or like I made pepperoni bread just because I get like, especially with like the cold and with the snow, I was just locked in my house and I felt like I just couldn't do anything and I felt stuck. So I cooked and I baked for 2 days straight. So I just think that's a good way for me to release, and I definitely feel better when I'm doing things. So that's like the way I've been able to decrease like how anxious and blah blah blah. Because that was one of my resolutions, was like cook and bake and cook for my family, like make a meal for my family like once a week, because my parents work really hard and they get home and then they cook dinner, and I thought, well, I can try to make dinner at least once a week. So that's like definitely been helpful for me, is like use my resolutions to do better for my family and to do better for me.
I do love that, cooking for your family.
It's just very sweet. I think that was one thing with my resolutions this year. Like I kind of marked out more things that I wanted to do for other people too, because instead there is a pressure to do like things that are more for your appearance, but I was like, you know, like I really want to volunteer more. Like those are things that I really want to commit even more time to this year, because I think that anytime that I am doing things like that, I automatically feel better.
Right.
And I feel like that's a natural way to decrease anxiety, because I think the love that you get from your community is something really huge for me that I've learned, just because I feel like you're able to go throughout all your days feeling a lot better about yourself and knowing that you're helping other people too. Which I think too with resolutions, like why they sometimes can help with like shame or anxiety, is because there's also a level of like accountability without it being like a bad sense of accountability. It's just like, here are the things that I genuinely want to do, and when you're able to have that level of accountability, you feel good about when you do accomplish them, and any sort of goal or accomplishment once you get there, like I think it has such good mental benefits all in all. I think that's why, like, for a mental health check-in, I really do think it's okay to go into the new year tired, grieving, uncertain, or sad. Like, I know that there's a lot of pressure to be immediately happy going into the new year, but that's just not most people's reality. And I think it's okay to feel however you're going to feel. It doesn't mean that you're going to always feel that way.
It's important to remember that all feelings are valid throughout the year, any time of the day, any holiday.
Yeah, with that, like, I definitely know there's harder days and there's easier days. For me, like, right now it's just, like, hard, and it's, like, been a hard month. and I like have to keep like looking forward. Like college will be in a few months. I have graduation. I have prom. Like I have all these things to look forward to, and if I just keep pushing myself to get there, I'll end up in a happier spot. And as much as that's like pushing and not great, I still like having something that's motivating me to find the happiness and to know that there's going to be a happiness that's going to be like good in the future and going to keep me going.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think I used to be so afraid of the saying that like nothing is temporary. Like it used to freak me out so bad, but as I've gotten older, it's like, oh, all that pain is also then not temporary. Like all of these like bad things that we experience, like those are just fleeting moments in the grand scheme of things. And I think that that is always something that I need to like remind myself of. Like there's a balance of good and bad, even in those really like dark moments. You can sit there and be like, you know what, like there's ways out of this, and I know that I will see the light at the end of the tunnel eventually, even if you can't feel it in that given moment.
And I feel like right there, Faith, you just shared like multiple affirmations that could really be helpful, so you know, as those.
It was like an affirmation sentence.
It was affirmation paragraph right there. Yes. But I think like those affirmations are super helpful. Like it's okay, things are temporary. Like this too shall pass. Or there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Because I think it's realistic. Like we want our affirmations to not be inflated where it feels like, no, I'm having a bad day, okay? Well, because we're allowed to have bad days too.
You just have to say I'm having a bad day.
Exactly.
And to say I'm having a bad day is okay.
That is
exactly.
You can literally say I am having a bad day and it's okay. You don't have to always be having a good day.
Exactly. Let's normalize bad days.
Yes. Please. Like I've come into school, sweatpants, sweatshirts, looking just downright like not happy. And I've been not happy. And I've been expected to just be like happy, participating in class. Like, but every student and every teacher and every person in the profession will have a rough, hard day, morning, afternoon, night. Any part of the day can be hard. And I think we need to understand that some people are just having a rough day and we just need to give them their space.
Exactly. It's part of the human experience. Exactly. It's something that bonds us all together. But sadly, it makes us sometimes feel isolated given these like unrealistic expectations.
Just reminds me of that one song. It's like, you had a bad day.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, it's playing in my head.
Speaking of that, I had to give a solo in middle school to that song. And yes, I was having a bad day.
That actually what caused my bad day.
Just like
that actually led to the bad day.
That started the bad day.
Just like the song you sang for the kids.
Yep, that was another bad day. Singing career officially over.
I love trauma singing. Oh my god.
It's all right. So going back to some of our resolutions, I know we talked about ones that have to do with body image are more times negative, especially with social media and comparing ourselves to those who might have a big fan base, etc. What are some ways we think we can reframe these into being something more positive?
I think I've thought about this one a lot because it's something that I struggled with so much growing up. I think for me, like the best way to reframe it has been not including anything appearance based at all. Like it really has to be focused on, I'm just gonna like move my body and make sure that I'm doing things that are benefiting me in a certain way. Because I think when we say that we want to be skinnier or we want our skin to be like clearer, like that also inherently implies that there's something wrong with what you look like now, and that's just not the case. And that's why when you don't complete those goals, because I think there's never, with appearance, there's no end to that goal. If it's just appearance based, you'll continue to get skinnier or whatever it may be. But when you're just being like, oh, I want to do these things that feed my body or fuel me in a certain way, like you know that you're still benefiting yourself. You're not just focusing on what is skin deep, because I think that's the biggest thing. You can't just be skin deep. It has to be something that is for your sole benefit and not something that you're going to just look at in the mirror. Is kind of my thing.
Yeah, because I feel like a mirror is a temporary fix to a deeper problem. Having had like an eating disorder, you kind of look at it from a different, I look at it differently now because back then my mindset was just, this needs to be different, this needs to be different.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, every time I looked back, I was like, this wasn't ever going to be different or exactly how I wanted. Eventually, obviously, I came out of that better, but I think it's definitely important to feed the soul.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Just snaps. Perfect responses. Like, I have nothing else to add. That was just beautiful.
She's taking it all in over there.
Sarah, do you mind me asking, did you work with a therapist when you were struggling with an eating disorder, or did you?
I would kind of consider my mom my therapist
Okay.
at the time.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting time. It kind of felt like I was all about, like, in my own head about a lot of things. And she, one day, it was after I had preseason, and it was just making it harder on my body. Like, my body wasn't being able to withstand.
Because preseason for volleyball is probably super
and
intensive.
It was high school. It was just a bad time. And she picked me up from one of, like, whatever the day, and it was in the morning. I think it was like 10 a.m. And she was like, do you want to go get ice cream? And I was like, are you serious right now? Why the heck would I want to? She's like, come on, it has calcium, it's good for your bones. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't know, something like clicked in my head that day. And she just, like, I don't know, she obviously didn't come at me, but she just, like, approached it a different way, and it made me see it differently. And so since then, I still do have, like, problems, but nothing nearly as bad. Like, I see food and, like, things a lot differently now than I did before. But I would say that she was a huge help in, like, because like my family knew, but she was, like,
actively taking a role to support you.
But then, like, she just knew, like, exactly how to help me.
Go mom.
Go mom.
Like, sometimes it is just that little perspective
shift.
Especially because I think, like, I have my own struggles with eating, and the one thing, because I've seen my therapist for a hot minute now. That's my homegirl, but I'll be honest,
That's my relationship with mine. I'm like, hey,
she's my everything, honestly. Like, I've
I love that
for a very long time, but, like, in the midst of when things have been really bad, I'll never forget. She, like, looked at me. She was like, the way you look will always be the least interesting thing about you. And for whatever reason, that at the time was like mind blowing to me. I was like, oh, I don't have to care what I look like all the time. Like, that's not what makes me feel best about myself, but it really is, like, even just those small moments of, like, ice cream can, like, still benefit you, and you're like, whoa.
It just, like, completely switched my perspective. I was like, holy crap, like, that, what she just said, mic drop. And of course, we went to Brewster's. I got, like, a waffle bowl full of, like, chocolate raspberry truffle. It was
good ice
amazing.
cream.
That sounds amazing. Yes.
Especially if it was 11 or 10 a.m. or whatever it was.
Sorry. I'm, like, also, I had my eating struggles in middle school. I think it was a really middle school thing, and my middle school was, like, have an eating disorder, and we, like, would all not talk about it, but it would be, like, we never ate lunch. We just, like, went throughout the day, and then my mother, like, saw me not eat, like, my dinner, and was like, Lily, like, are you sick? And then I was like, yeah, I just don't feel good. And then it would happen for, like, weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And then she'd be like, Lily, like, we're sick of this. Like, we're not gonna not eat dinner. Like, let's eat. And then I was like, Mom, I can't. And then I can't. And then that response kind of got her, like, going. And then she got my wonderful therapist I have today, who was, like, also said something similar, but said, Lily, like, you love the idea of food. You've always been, like, food centered. Like, I, like, love, like, going to different places and, like, trying different foods. And that part of me just wasn't me anymore. So I think that also took from my parents, and, like, my therapist knew that, like, I didn't have that in me anymore. And that's been such a big thing. Like, I wrote college essays on, like, the impact on food and culture and the impact that foods have on my life. About, like, seeing how other people see things. So, like, I'm even getting, like, a food studies minor in college just because I love, like, the impact of it on the world. So definitely, like, having someone say, like, you love food. Like, you love the, like, what food does for your body. You love what food does, like, for culture. You might not feel your prettiest right now, but that's not what's going to matter in the long end. It's going to be your health and who you are.
Your interests.
Exactly. So that's definitely something that helped me, like, grow as a person. And, like, I see that every new year. I'm like, I'm not gonna like have my food struggles this year, or I'm gonna like see like the impact it'll have on me and the others around me. Like, what if like this little girl sees I'm not eating dinner? How's that gonna impact her in the future?
And now you're cooking dinner
Now
for your family.
I'm getting a literal minor in food studies, studying how food impacts culture in the world. So I'm just super excited to like be able to have that chance to appreciate food, and I hope everyone else gets to learn that food can really change the world.
Food is a language in itself. That
It really is.
Think about as much. I think because we have such weird stigmas built up around food. I think even like, not to be too woke, but women have a different pressure on them for New Year's resolutions that all surround body in a way that men just typically don't have the same pressure of. So I think it is important for us to be able to like recognize that part of it, that we're allowed to, you know, still fuel ourselves, and that's 100% okay.
Yes.
I've been looking into like different things I can make with certain like ingredients. I've been really into cottage cheese. I don't know what it is.
No, I've gotten hooked on it recently.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, it has a lot of protein, but then it's also not very filling. So it's kind of just like been up there for me. This is going to sound kind of weird. So I made half a bagel and I put cottage cheese on it and like some like spicy stuff. It was like one of the best things I ever had.
Nice.
And just like putting it into different perspectives like that for me, because typically when I would look at cottage cheese, I'd be like, ew. Yeah. It's just like the thought of looking at it, I was like,
I know, I was so afraid of it. Like, it looked like a texture nightmare for me.
Exactly.
Oh, like my entire appetite can be ruined if like texture's But sometimes you gotta like step out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's something I've been working on too. But I have been doing very well, guys. Don't worry. But I just, I do, and I love food. Like, oh my God, I love it. But yeah, I've just been trying different like ingredients with different things, and it's kind of fun. Like, just figuring out what you like and what you don't.
Yeah.
So
I was listening to a podcast, and it was talking about how like curiosity is the antidote to fear and anxiety, and like how if we can shift to being curious about something, it really helps us work through like an anxious thought or a fear. And I feel like, Sarah, like that's kind of what you're doing. You're like, I'm going to be curious about mixing ingredients and like having fun with this instead of, and that's such a good shift to then, instead of being like, oh, how many calories is this? It's going to change how I look. Yeah.
That's so interesting, because one of the goals I like set for myself this year was to like ask more questions.
Like be more curious.
I think curiosity is how we learn.
Yeah, same.
Like, that's the things that we're going to take with us. And I think I always get so afraid of asking too many questions and looking like silly or stupid. And I'm like, no, I think it's such a human thing to be curious. And I feel like when you learn, like you're just growing yourself more. And like I love that. So I like that, the whole thing of just be curious.
Just be curious. Right. And curiosity is like linked to fun in my brain. Like there's like I don't have to be perfect, and it's just like, and then I think we learn better when we're not uptight and put this like pressure on ourselves to like remember everything. So
because I know that they're like, curiosity killed the cat, but it's like, no, I don't think that it did. I don't think that's what it is. I feel like it's very human to just want to know more, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah,
and the
definitely.
cat still had 8 lives.
Honestly, the cat was chilling, so
the cat is okay. So what if this year wasn't about becoming someone new? What if it was about supporting who you already are? How would you go about that?
Yeah, I think that this question is just really interesting to me, because I feel like this past year has just been such a huge year of growth for me in general. So when I like look at this upcoming year, like I think this has been the first year where I've looked ahead and I'm like, I really don't want to change anything about myself. Like there's of course things that I can still do better. I think like whether it's like communicating better, like things like that I think you just consistently work on with time. I like going into this year with the idea that I'm like very comfortable with who I am. Yeah. And then anything else on top of that, it's like
a win.
It's a win. My therapist actually said like when you're like comfortable with yourself, she compared it to like a sundae. So when you add on the hot fudge or cherry or whipped cream, that's just bettering a sundae. Like it's not taking away from who you are. Like you're good all on your own. Like ice cream's always good. But it's like those little things that you use to support who you are just make you such a fuller, happier person. And I think that that's what I am keeping in my mind this year is be ice cream.
I love that. Be ice cream.
I love that. That's such an interesting perspective too. I do love that. For me, I feel like this past year, 2025, I advocated myself for a lot of things that
Amazing.
I typically would have been scared to before. Like really trying to get or like accomplish the things I wanted to do. I don't know how to word it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I never really ever wanted to be someone new. I love who I am. I would just put myself out there more. I mean, like I do a lot, but I want to try and make it something this year where I can just meet someone new. Maybe like one new person a month.
Oh yeah.
That's a really
I think
nice
that
goal.
would
I
be
like
really
that.
fun.
That's what I'm
Just to,
doing.
like, reach out.
Yeah. Like I found most of my life I've been very fortunate to be invited to things. And then now I'm in my 30s and you know, friendships look different as you get older.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy like going out to dinner with people and just like having a depthy good night. And so one thing I'm working on is like asking people and someone new each month to do something together.
I just like love having a good impact on people.
Yeah.
I've been hanging out, well, probably since like November with different people who like I typically didn't really hang out with before. I never had any problems with them. Like we knew each other from past circumstances or like whatever, but I've been like hanging out with them more and just like learning new people, and I love it. And then it's like the repercussions of that is like them asking to hang out or like you making plans and just like I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice repercussions.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like having different people to hang out with and talk to. And
Yeah.
get to know.
Yeah.
Community's just such a beautiful thing. It's
so
really
beautiful.
What I've been, like, holding on to recently.
I know. I
Because
could feel that coming from you, Faith.
It's like I think things are kind of grim in the world right now. But then when you see these like heartfelt things of like neighbors pulling together, or just like even simple things of like people used to be able to knock on their neighbor's door and ask for like flour, and that was actually a thing people did. It wasn't
right.
normal. And I'm like, I read this quote once where it's like if you expect a community or an army, you have to also show up for those people equally. Like you can't just expect them to be there. Like you also have to be putting in
have to
equal
participate.
effort. The only way you create a community is you have to be in the community. So I really like that as just like a general thing looking forward, is like that we can all be like, yeah, I just want to like meet people.
Yeah.
Like it's just so nice to think about it.
I know. But even like I think that was a cool thing I observed with this big snowstorm is everyone did kind of slow down. We were all at home more than usual. Like our Mondays were disrupted from like the normal Monday.
Yeah.
But you saw people like talking. Like I was outside shoveling. Like people I probably wouldn't normally
like my neighbors,
pick up conversation with. Yeah, you're
like,
talking to them and it kind of
my neighbors like came and plowed our driveway. And like, that's just so nice.
That's so nice.
Like, what the heck?
Right,
like, it is nice to be able to like look around and be like, people are good.
Or it's like the random people you see on the street just like shoveling the sidewalks that you've never seen before.
Exactly. It's so sweet. And it's just good to witness that. And it always inspires me to be like, I want to be a good participant in the community myself.
To conclude, we want to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health, whose support makes this podcast possible. We invite you to listen to the following message from our sponsor.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
We're grateful to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting our podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
The views and opinions expressed in the Teens Tap In podcast represent the opinions of the hosts and their guests. The views and opinions expressed by Outreach Teen and Family Services employees, donors, and volunteers are their own and do not necessarily reflect the view of Outreach Teen and Family Services or the show's sponsors. The content here should not be taken as counseling advice. The content here is for informational purposes only, and because each person is unique, please consult your mental health provider or physician for any mental health counseling or other medical questions. The podcast should not be used in any legal capacity whatsoever, including, but not limited to, establishing a standard of care in a legal sense, or as a basis for expert witness testimony. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on the podcast. If you find any error in any of the content of the podcast, please contact us at podcasts@outreachteen.org. Outreach Teen and Family Services, its sponsors, donors, and partners expressly disclaim any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages whatsoever arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast. Please go to www.outreachteen.org to see the complete notice and disclaimer for the podcast episodes.